Welcome inside our NBA TV studios. I'm Mark Fye. Tonight we feature the Sacramento Kings taking on the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference semifinals, Game 1. The Lakers were coming off a first-round sweep of the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Kings had advanced by beating the Suns. Let's see how Game 1 of this budding rivalry turned out.
The Lakers are playing great, but they're also due to have a bad game, and Phil Jackson is concerned about the pace of this game. He's got to be able to control the pace. He's got to be able to make sure that Jason Williams is a little squirrely and out of control. This is a great passing team, and we have the earmarks of a possible upset today.
Of course, the Lakers haven't played since last Sunday after their sweep of Portland. It's a rematch of last year's first round. Lakers extended the full 5 games. Each team won on their home floor as Produts wins the opening tip.
Wow, you know, the last time we saw a guy with shoes like that, it was Terrell Brandon. He slid all over the place.
Fox with the steal. And Fox's defense, one of the real keys trying to stop Patience Stojakovic.
Phil Jackson well aware of Stojakovic's importance for Sacramento. Fox up in the passing lanes early, a la James Worthy, the legend.
Weber against Grant. Fox on the double team, and Weber is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
You're able to be up in the passing lanes because you got a great eraser, Shaquille O'Neal. Second team All-League defense, Shaq, but Rick Fox gracefully getting the Lakers off to a sharp start. And I'm not quite sure why you say they're due to come down.
You know, Bill, if you watch the league long enough, you know you play about 10 or 12 games really good, and then you have a really bad game. The Lakers are due to have a bad game. Now, if they do, at least you'll have been warned.
I realize I'm not quite as old as you, Steve.
I like the way you guys just ease into the game. The foul, by the way, was on Shaquille O'Neal. Weber misses the first. Weber did not have a particularly good series against Phoenix. Certainly on the offensive end. Didn't shoot the ball well, either from the field or the free throw line. And he hits 1 of 2.
He hasn't shot the ball well against the Lakers since the Lakers acquired Horace Grant. 37% on the season, 21 points per game in the 3 games that he did play against Los Angeles, significantly below his MVP level numbers.
Divac defends O'Neal well, but Shaquille O'Neal still able to knock it down.
Sacramento could live with that kind of shot. Shaq is going to get a lot of points. Is he going to get 80? I doubt it.
Divac trying to use the glass. Divac, his ability to keep Shaquille O'Neal away from the backboard and come outside. A bad pass inside from Bryant. And Weber the steal.
Beautiful collapsing defense by Chris Weber.
Jason Williams for 3. Knocks it down. Williams had a terrific series against Phoenix. He shot 44% from 3-point range, and he ties it at 4.
Well, you see Phil Jackson calm now, but that's what he's concerned about. 1, the pace of the game, and that his team's going to get into one of those quick shooting contests. Sacramento's got more people that are better at it than the Lakers.
Double team comes late, and a goaltend clearly on the way down as Weber rejects it, but 2 more points for Shaquille O'Neal.
So you're automatically dissing guys like Brian Shaw, guys like Robert Horry.
Automatically. They don't shoot as well.
You're just throwing them out?
They don't shoot as well from the perimeter as the Sacramento Kings. That's just like the game we just finished seeing. Milwaukee and Charlotte. Milwaukee is a better jump shooting team than Charlotte.
The Lakers are going to get better shots than Sacramento will.
Foul on Derek Fisher.
And that's a huge key to what your shooting percentage will be. Not a single member of the Kings front line shot over 40% against Phoenix. Weren't even close.
And for them to do anything in this series, that has to increase big time, especially from this man Weber.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Jake Saklidis is not at Shaquille O'Neal's level at this point in his career.
Weber misfires, O'Neal the rebound. Again, Rick Adelman, he was pleased with his team's defense against the Phoenix Suns. Just didn't think they played well offensively. Boy, as times changed with Sacramento. Fisher misfires. Divac the rebound. It's the first miss for the Lakers after hitting their initial 3.
Here's the guy that the Lakers want to control, and that's Stojakovic. He hasn't looked at the rim yet.
Beautiful passing by Vlade Divac.
Fox called for the foul. When we asked Fox yesterday, how are you going to stop Stojakovic? He said, we have to do a good job. He didn't say, he knows he's going to need a lot of help.
This is the guy that plays with the ball and without the ball and plays better when he's cutting and moving. Fox reached in. Stojakovic with the quick release will go to the line.
Player Stojakovic, who his own coach, Rick Adelman, who has seen this league for many, many years, he says that Stojakovic is the best shooter he's ever seen. His growth as a professional now in his 3rd season. An emerging moment in his career as they cleared the space for him to force him to play virtually the entire game of all these big games.
He's only 23 years old. He took 36 free throws in that Phoenix series, made 34 of them. So not only is he shooting, but he's getting to the line and he knocks down a pair.
Bryant yet to look at the hoop, so let's see if they get Kobe involved. Back to Jack.
Foul on Weber, and O'Neal will go to the free throw line. That one was too easy and too deep for
outstanding execution of the triangle offense. Kobe Bryant flows. That's what Rick Fox and the Lakers were telling us yesterday. With Kobe respecting, trusting his teammates. When Kobe came back from that injury late in the season, corresponding with this love fest that has broken out here at Staples. Oh, playing. You could hear that. You could hear that at Venice Beach.
But that has not been the norm, that clang sound for O'Neal. As you see his free throw shooting in the playoffs and the tail end of the regular season is much, much improved. It's the second, and the key reason, he just really has worked at it. And he's getting good coaching, but he's really worked hard at it.
Well, you
He had to. You would 37%, Mike. You better be working at it.
That's what's called addressing your weaknesses.
Divac's falling away. Does not get the bounce, and Fisher quick outlet to Bryant.
What you don't want to do, which Divac did, is take a deep shot and then watch Shaq throw something over the top.
But now come right back, and Sacramento has to come with the alternate attack here.
Weber, quick move, and a foul. That's exactly what they do. After O'Neal's alley-oop, I would guess that's O'Neal's strength as opposed to his free throw weakness.
It's easy to say never get back cut when you're playing against Shaq, but he works so hard at establishing that deep post position. Vlade overmatched there.
That's not Vlade's fault. They got to be all over the passer. You can't let Rick Fox sit there and spot Shaq and know that he's not going to catch it and throw it down. And Weber off to a pretty good start. 4 quick points here.
The foul is on Grant. That's his first.
The Lakers have had few transition opportunities. And that's a real credit to the balanced offensive attack that Sacramento is coming with.
Bad shot from Harris. Grant comes up short. Here comes Doug Christie. Christie has played very well against the Lakers during the regular season when LA won 3 of 4. Weber had it, lost it. Fisher comes away with a steal.
Got to get on the floor. When that ball is down loose, get bloody.
Christie, second team All-NBA defense, has his hands full with Kobe Bryant. Fisher hits the three. Derek Fisher from downtown. The Lakers go up 3. Jason Williams quickly the other way.
And he should have gone all the way the first time. He ends up getting the foul against Kobe Bryant. Kobe saying no, but, Jason Williams, as quick as anyone off the dribble, had Derek Fisher off balance and out of control and could have got there a lot easier, but still gets a foul.
And when we asked Adelman about the recent improvement of Jason Williams, he gave a tremendous amount of credit to Jason's patience and willing to wait for the other guys to get into the flow of the game.
Williams knocks down the first to foul on Bryant, his first. Log on to NBA.com after each playoff game for live coverage of the post-game press conferences. And send in your questions to NBA.com commentators, including the Lakers' Robert Horry. It's all at NBA.com. Jason Williams knocks them both down. 1-point Laker lead with just over 5 minutes gone by.
I'm so glad Robert Horry is on the internet because he's always been one of my favorite players, and I've been having trouble reaching him lately.
You'll get your chance after the game. O'Neal already with 7 points. Bryant for 3. Way off the mark. And Sacramento will get it back.
Obviously, someone opened the door.
No. Kobe hasn't been able to practice much this week. He's been limited by those bruised ribs. They've used this time to get him healthy.
Stojakovic knocks it down. Peja Stojakovic, according to Rick Adelman, one of the keys for him. He says he's in as good condition as anybody in the league. He will just run you all day long. And a whistle. Joe Crawford looking in, and he asks if Jason Williams is bleeding.
And he got blood.
Very good officiating crew on hand with Joe Crawford, Billy Spooner, and Ronnie Garrettson.
I can't believe we waited this long to get some blood. This is a big game.
When was the last time you dove on the floor?
These guys are now realizing what a unique opportunity they have, and they are cashing in.
And Kobe Bryant certainly has led the way with his unselfish play. With more on Kobe, let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Well, Kobe Bryant, Phil Jackson told us yesterday, was unable to practice most of the week. He's nursing those sore ribs. Didn't look too sore right there on that basket. Did on his first one when he missed the entire apparatus. I spoke to Kobe before the game, and Kobe told me he's still not 100%, that the week did give him quite a bit of time to try and recuperate and rest. He tried to take advantage of the time. He was a little concerned about getting into the rhythm right away of the game because they hadn't played for some time. Now, on the other end, guy to watch still is Chris Webber. I talked to him about his left ankle. He missed 13 games during the season because of it. He says it's still very sore. He can't lift off it. There's not the blast there. He feels that he'd be able to compete and compete well, but he's just not 100%. And at times in the game, particularly toward the end of the game, it bothers him. Mike?
All right, Jim, we'll keep an eye on that as Shaquille O'Neal has just picked up his second foul on a nice move from Divac.
Well, we have an apparatus instead of a rim. Yesterday we had an adjudication as opposed to a decision. You're losing me on a lot of these things.
Robert Horry, your man, comes in the game, Bill, as O'Neal will sit down with 7 points and 2 personal fouls.
Well, they did what they wanted. They made Shaq have to try to defend some people, got him on the bench, and we'll see if Adelman and company take control.
Equally as important is Vlade has played defense without fouling himself. Got to be perfect from the free throw line, though, when you get Shaq in that foul trouble. When you're playing against Shaq, you got to play with quick feet and, more importantly, a quicker mind.
Well, let's see what Kobe does now that Shaq is out of the ball game, whether he looks to be more offensive-minded or he continues to trust his teammates. Bryant.
Nice move from Bryant. Can't finish. Stojakovic the rebound. Divac's able to pick up the loose ball. Williams pushing it up the floor.
Beautiful.
Nice feed inside, and Webber with an easy 2.
Transition basketball. Don't get in a slugfest with the Lakers. They're so solid defensively.
Divac's one of the best passing big men in the NBA.
Are you saying that speed will have an impact on this game?
Well, you can't play a game of size and strength against Shaq. Has to be about transition. Has to be about give and goes. Has to be about being a passer.
Robert Horry, meanwhile, knocking down that shot. He was just 3 of 17 in the Portland series. Has not been shooting the ball well. Divac's inside again. Vlade Divac's overpowering Horace Grant. And the Kings, again, back on one.
One of the problems that the Lakers are facing right now is an injury issue that Jim Gray didn't get a chance to get to, and that's Greg Foster, who's in street clothes today. Shaq stepped on his foot recently, and Greg just quickly off crutches. Horry.
Back-to-back buckets for Horry, who's been struggling. Foster giving him a hand, and the Lakers up 2.
Well, remember what Phil Jackson said yesterday. We got to get Rob going. You know, he's been struggling with this shot, so he's got a green light, and he knocks a couple of them down. But, you know, one of the keys for Adelman is Divac's ability to pass the ball and to score the ball. Webber, I thought he couldn't elevate. Flushes that one down, and then coming back the other way, Divac with the hoop inside.
Vlade Divac and David Robinson are the 2 centers at the top of the list of a short handful of guys who can be anywhere effective against Shaq. These guys, because of their offensive capabilities, because of their size, because of their footwork, because of their experience, Robinson and Vlade, if anybody's going to do it, they're going to be the ones.
You see the free throw shooting numbers. They've been to the line already 10 times, but now have missed 4 of 11. And it's a 1-point Laker lead.
Webber and Shaq both have 7 in the first quarter of play. So Webber in this game and playing close and making things happen, which he didn't do in the Phoenix series.
But what a luxury Phil Jackson has to have Horace Grant and Robert Horry.
And Derek Fisher. Fisher shooting the ball so well. He missed the first 62 games with the foot injury. Jason Williams gets inside. Dangerous pass and a turnover. 5-on-1 break. Horry, the trailer. Well, not exactly fluid, but the bottom line is they get the 2.
That's what we talked about earlier today. The fact that your offense has to be in balance to keep your defense protected. Jason Williams got himself caught in the air underneath the basket. threw the ball away. Vlade had no chance of stabbing it. And then Peja Stojakovic, as much improved as he is defensively, there's no way you're going to be able to stop a 4-on-1 break if you're Peja Stojakovic.
Well, Robert Ory's off to a quick start, but, you know, as quickly as they scored, Sacramento came right back, attacking. Weber back on the line, picking up the foul against Horace Grant.
That's 2 on Grant, 2 on O'Neal. Grant says some nights I'll stop Tim Duncan, some nights I'll give up 51, like what happened against Antoine Jameson. As Weber hits the first. Weber's numbers again against Phoenix were not all that strong in terms of shooting the basketball.
But I think in that series he took the quick and easy way out. He shot a lot of perimeter shots. He didn't look to go inside. This afternoon he has made a concerted effort to try to stay inside, get to the rim, draw fouls. 9 here in the first quarter for Chris Webber.
Adelman telling us the desperate need for the balance to Chris Webber's game. That fine line between just hanging on the perimeter. Team fouls, the Lakers hacking, and Sacramento playing good contained defense without fouling.
And free throw attempts 13-2. Jason Williams gets the roll on the three-pointer. And Williams now with 8 points. He's 2 for 2 from downtown. Kings 6 of 9 from the field.
Kobe had a spectacular dunk planned off that backdoor flash.
Tripped up. Stojakovic trying to help out on defense. They call the foul.
Basketball is a game that provides unlimited opportunity to take someone out. And as a defensive player, you cannot be coming at a person's body when they're extended for the hoop.
What are you saying?
You didn't see that video?
As a defensive player, you got to take somebody out?
No.
So what are you
You
saying?
have unlimited opportunity to do that, but you have to pass on that situation there.
Stojakovic misfires.
Oh, that's what you needed to add, was you need to pass on.
Meanwhile, game 2 of that series between San Antonio and Dallas tomorrow night on TNT. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock Eastern time as the Spurs won that one going away.
Jackson going to gamble. Shaq back in the game with 3:20 to go here in the first quarter, and the game is tied. So Christie doing a good job against Kobe Bryant, turns it over.
Yeah, Doug Christie, one of the premier defenders in the NBA on the perimeter.
And Adelman telling us yesterday how pleased and impressed he was with Doug Christie's contribution in that Phoenix series, where he felt that Doug Christie wore down and eventually outplayed Jason Kidd.
He said that he had one game, he only had 1 field goal, yet still had maybe as big an impact on the game as anybody.
Ori again defensively everywhere.
Stojakovic for 3. Peja Stojakovic knocks it down. And the Sacramento Kings a 3-point lead, 7 for Stojakovic.
Shots they couldn't make against Phoenix, they're making them right now, and they have the lead in the game, and the fans here at Staples a little bit nervous. Shaq, too deep.
O'Neal misses from point-blank range. He thought he was fouled. Bryant with the steal. Alley-oop, and Christie, terrific play from Doug Christie. Still Laker ball.
Shaq was busy arguing with the referee, Bill Spooner, about the lack of a foul called against Vlade Divac, and the ball ended up right back with him. Kobe just lobs it up there. Christie, volleyball spikes.
Christie, a tremendous athlete.
Well, physical fitness fanatic, Doug Christie, and it's really paid off for him as he's made a remarkable career for himself.
And that's the 3rd turnover. Christie credits a lot of his defense ability to when he played in Toronto. Darrell Walker, the head coach there, told him, hey, this is your way to make a mark on the league. And he's made a big difference.
Not only Darrell Walker, but Isaiah Thomas as well.
Stojakovic stripped down low. Still Kings ball with 10 on the shot clock.
Well, Rick Fox has got to do a better job of keeping Stojakovic in front of him. That time he got by, and it was only a saving hand that got that layup to go astray. 9 on the clock.
Got to stroke that jumper.
Weber double team. Divac wide open, goes for the glass and cannot connect.
When Weber gets that wide open, you got to pull the trigger.
O'Neal.
Oh, offensive foul. They don't call it.
Bryant the rebound. That would have been his 3rd. He's already got 2. Dangerous pass from Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers turn it over for the 4th time. Phil Jackson upset with something in that offensive execution.
You see Shaq lead with that elbow, and Vlade flopped, so he didn't get the call, but certainly could have been the 3rd foul against Shaquille O'Neal.
That's one of the comments Phil Jackson said before the season, talking about the flopping. And foul call on Robert Horry, the blocking foul there.
Joe Crawford's going to take care of business right here. Let's get it out of the way right now, he said. Technical foul both ways.
Double technical. So Crawford trying to let everyone know he means business right away. So double technical on Weber and Horry. Of course, what that means, no shots right now, but each player just one technical away from an automatic ejection.
Well, but you've got Weber going back to the line. You know, he's in a shooting situation. So Horry's got 2 personal fouls. So Weber, Divac's wearing these frontline guys of the Lakers out right now.
Weber has to put up big numbers throughout this entire series.
Not even close on the free throw. Weber now 5 of 8 from the line. And a 20-second timeout called by Phil Jackson.
People had a chance to speak to Chris Weber before the game. He says we're a much better, we're a much more mature team. It's not about all the flash that we've had in the past. It's about winning, he said. He said, I know we're much better this year. I don't know if the Lakers are much better. I know my team is, and I'm quite confident of our chances. And he also said it's going to be much easier to win game 1 or game 2 than to come here in a game 7 situation. So their focus is on trying to get one of these first 2.
Well, Jim, they're much better on the road this year. 22 and 19 on the road this season.
A franchise best road record and a foul on Weber well away from the ball. That's not the kind of foul that Chris Weber needs to pick up because this is not a big team, Sacramento. Other than Scott Pollard, they don't have anybody else that can guard Shaq.
But look where the foul is. It's 23 feet away from the hoop, and a big guy should not be bodying out that far on the floor. Weber's going out of the ball game. Pollard's coming in. Turkoglu is coming in as well.
I said it was an ill-advised foul.
I didn't disagree for once, and that'll be the only time. I mean, you've been out of control ever since 8 o'clock this morning.
Hey, if Shaq and Kobe can get along, so can you two.
We don't have the Zen master.
What are you trying to insult me now? Teron Lue will come into the game for the first time. 1:14 remaining here in the first. Kings leading by 3.
Come to Shaq right away.
Well, you know,
Pollard just got in the game. Little stiff. Referees love to call an initial foul on the backup center.
Well, Jackson wanted to settle his team down. Offensively, they've been turning the ball over. They've been rushing things. So let's see if that did any good. Lue.
That's a 3. Won't go. O'Neal to the offensive board.
Rebounding. How do you expect to win for Sacramento if you can't get a defensive rebound?
Still Laker ball off the deflection. Bryant will come in. He had some blood on his jersey. That's why he had to come out quickly. And Lue will sit down. Bryant gets inside. Christie doesn't go for the fake and defends him well.
Here's a guy that Alman would love to see get going. Turkoglu, he had his best game against the Lakers the last time around and pops his first shoot.
Here's a guy, Turkoglu, who was 1 for 15 in the entire 4-game series. Didn't get a lot of time, but 1 for 15 is a nightmare. Kobe, consecutive missed layups. Shaq.
And a foul for Shaquille O'Neal. Chance for a 3-point play. And that ends the 10-0 run by Sacramento.
Turkoglu coming across, and he, like Stojakovic, can put it on the floor and make that jump shot on the move. This is a great drive, but no finish from Kobe Bryant. And Shaq over the top, and after he puts that in, he pulled all his guys together and said, let's go, let's get control of this first quarter. 10 1/4 for O'Neal.
We're seeing a little bit of rust on Kobe's game. And it's his teammates' responsibility and obligation, duty, to get Kobe some easy looks. He's critically important. Great screen, Pollard.
Christie goes right at O'Neal. Pollard the offensive rebound. And O'Neal deflects it to Christie.
Give and go in that situation.
Shot clock is turned off. Rick Allen yelling at Jason Williams to hold for 1. That's a tough assignment for Rick Allen to get him to calm down for a moment. Williams shooting over O'Neal. Knocks it down. Jason Williams puts the Kings up by 4. O'Neal inside. Fisher just gets it off in time. Count it.
What was Peja Stojakovic thinking? In that situation, you got to poke the ball 20 feet the other direction. He just barely tapped at it.
Jason Williams has had a terrific first quarter of play. His decision-making and shot-making here in the first quarter on the money elevated that one just a little bit more. The results.
Jason.
But when they threw the long ball, it was easily tipped away. Could have been by Sacramento, failing to pay attention to detail.
Sacramento leading by 2. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. Second quarter set to begin. Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal. And the Kings leading by 2. A little concerned with Chris Webber. That's his toe. What a lovely toe as it's being worked on here.
A lot of players this time of year have the banged up toenails, people jumping on them, standing on them. You stub it against the front of your shoe and the nails get broken. You get blood underneath it. It's the playoffs.
Webber, as Jim Gray said, already bothered by the ankle injury. Meanwhile, Sacramento shooting the ball very well. There's Webber's numbers. Got to the line 9 times. As a team, they took 15 free throw attempts in that first quarter.
Well, you know, the Lakers are actually shooting the ball better than the Kings. 52% to 50, but it's the free throws that have made at least a difference in the Kings holding the lead. And we'll see if the Lakers come out better ball movement and better decision-making so they don't turn it over as much.
Fox, nice move. Couldn't finish. Pollard the rebound. Pollard's been grabbing rebounds like crazy throughout the postseason. Stojakovic well short.
Oh, they missed a wide open Bryant. Should have had him right on the fly, and Derek Fisher went the other way.
Stojakovic is now guarding Bryant. They go deep to O'Neal. Nice play from Pollard inside. Turkoglu wrestles it away. Turkoglu not one to back down. And a travel. That's a good call from Joe Crawford.
A key stat for Sacramento is that their 2 centers, Pollard and Vlade, between them have 1 foul.
And that's unusual going up against O'Neal, who has had a lot of touches.
They're playing good position without fouling. If Shaq scores, so be it. Get it back on the other end. Get the ball in and race it up and get Shaq involved again.
O'Neal scoring on a broken play. He's got 12 points already. 12 of the Lakers' 30.
Shaq is going to get 30 to 40 points. He's not going to get 80.
Turkoglu puts it in. Turkoglu already with more field goals here in a couple of minutes than he had the entire Phoenix series. As you mentioned, Bill, just 1 of 15.
Again, they are a better jump shooting team and a quick jump shooting team than the Lakers. So the Lakers have to make sure when they get each possession, they move the ball, move people, and control some of the pace of the game. O'Neal, short.
Pollard deflects it away.
And notice he is getting slower and slower getting back.
Pollard has got to get up and down in transition.
Or he deflects it. Bryant tries to save it, goes crashing. Pollard misses the second attempt, puts it in, gets knocked to the floor. O'Neal got away with one there as Pollard was crashed to the floor. Bryant finally gets back out on the floor himself.
Well, there have been 2 occasions where the Sacramento Kings had a legitimate complaint about Shaq fouling Scott Pollard. Neither one of them called. And Rick Adelman is saying, what is a foul here?
You see Kobe making the supreme effort to try to save this and had no chance.
Ouch.
And, you know, that's not a true loyalist. He should have stayed in there and caught Kobe.
But he ran down the sidelines and sitting right up on the court and ran onto the court in the front court. Now, that's the NFL. You can't come out. You can't run down the sidelines like that.
It's the NBA.
Yeah, let's
Los Angeles.
Take a look
Kobe
at
Bryant can do what he wants to do.
And see how beat it up he is and how tired he might be as he shoots these 2 free throws.
He's now 3 of 4. There's Ed Palyabinskas, his free throw shooting coach. And he has done a marvelous job. And Steve, we talked about this yesterday when we saw him shooting the free throws. He gets that terrific arc on it now as compared to the flat shot he had for so long.
Yeah, he used to have a line drive, and that had no chance of going in. Now, Ed likes to call himself Otto. So, you know, he's telling me he makes shots from all over the court. And I said, what's your range? He said, infinity.
This guy can really shoot. He told us yesterday that in 15 years of exhibitions and competitions, in 15 years with over 1,000 shots, he's missed 3 free throws.
You ever heard of these competitions he shot in?
Turkoglu.
I was not invited to those.
The Sacramento bench is up in arms. Vlade thought he got fouled, and they clicked nothing.
And Derek Fisher comes up hurt on the play. Bryant comes up short on the shot. Now a technical foul has been called.
Vlade Divac.
Yep, Divac picks it up, so Divac has a technical. Weber has a technical, and Robert Ory.
Well, you know, Vlade is saying, do your job. Now watch him spin inside, come into Shaq. Now when Shaq has made this play, it's been automatic. He's on the line. The bench reacts. Vlade reacts, and he's saying, how about my trip at the line?
That time, Shaq just stood there. The other two times against Pollard.
Would you stop?
The other two times, those were fouls against Scott Pollard.
What is a collision?
If the big guy's just standing there and the guy jumps into you, that's not a foul on the defense.
So O'Neal still with just 2 fouls despite the physical play. Fox had a very effective series against Portland. O'Neal. Second effort. Foul. Shot won't go, but he'll go back to the line.
Well, what they have done a very good job of is making Shaq's initial shot come further out on the floor. So even though he goes back and gets the follow-up, that's the way you have to defend against Shaquille O'Neal.
But Sacramento, like so many other teams, are just capitulating there. When he misses that shot, you have got to keep him from getting the offensive rebound. Inexcusable.
Easier said than done, though, as we have another clock. But as we mentioned, his free throw shooting has gotten so much better as the season's gone on. Even had one game where he was 13 for 13 from the line.
You say easier said than done. Basketball's a game of timing and positioning. And if your man shoots, your job is to make him miss the shot and then keep him from getting the rebound, plain and simple.
He's big. He's fast. Kings by 2 with nearly 4 minutes gone by in the second. Barry has had some good games against the Lakers. Flips it up there. Not a good shot that time, and O'Neal the rebound.
John Barry is just too good a player to throw up that kind of garbage.
See Fox surveying the situation. He says he's learned so much about this triangle offense. A lot more poise. Shaw puts in a 3. Ryan Shaw from downtown, and the Lakers regain the lead.
Shaw has bailed out the Lakers so many times over the 2 years that he's been here.
Bobby Jackson on the pull-up. Tough shot from Bobby Jackson.
Well, that's the one element that Bobby Jackson has added to his game. Mid-range jump shooting, great deal of confidence off of this season, and he's looking to attack Tyrone Lue.
Shaw, he attacks but misses. And the rebound goes to Sacramento. Shaw with the steal.
Don't foul if you're Vlade Divac.
And a whistle. Divac turns and walks away. He's not arguing.
Well, he's already got one technical.
And that's exactly why.
Vlade's just standing here. He's just standing there.
Well, he puts that right arm up. That's what got him the call.
That's a foul, but if they're not going to call it at the other end, why do they call it when Shaq goes to the hoop?
Shaquille O'Neal now 5 of 8 from the line. He's got 15 points, 5 boards.
Oh, I guess you're finally going to agree with my point. Shaq has been brutalizing people down here.
Shaq got away with at least 2 fouls on the defensive end that they did not call. At least 2.
1 or 2 for O'Neal.
Scott Pollard has 8 rebounds in the first 3 minutes of action for him. All tied with 5 minutes gone by here in the second. Weber rushed the shot. O'Neal his 6th rebound.
Laker defense is tightening, and every shot attempt for Sacramento is coming off their own dribble. Not a good style to try to beat Los Angeles with.
Yeah, they're staying with Shaq right now, and let's see how the defense of Sacramento adjusts.
Weber, good boxing out.
Weber's not getting in the air defensively.
Turkoglu, Barry, that's a 3. Way short. Fox contested it. Turkoglu with the second opportunity, knocking it down. Turkoglu, 3 of 4 from the field.
John Barry, who hardly played, was a major factor last year, but they've changed all the rotations there as they brought Doug Christie in, Bobby Jackson, a good addition. But John Barry not taking advantage of this playing opportunity here. He gets burned defensively.
O'Neal with his second assist.
And it's a bad decision to double team when the ball goes into Shaq and a guy is cutting. Easy shoot for Shaw.
Shooting numbers 47% for the Lakers, 45% for Sacramento. Jackson.
Now that's what Rick Animal didn't want. One shot from one player. So you come down, the defense is setting a quick shot from the outside. He wants the ball to move, players to move, and then the shot to come up against the Laker moving defense.
Where's the penetration and dish? Where's the dribble handoffs? Where's the give and goes? Turnovers, Los Angeles.
Backward violation, and that's their 5th turnover.
Here's a play that got Phil Jackson and all the Laker fans irate.
It's a great block.
That hit the glass.
It's a great block.
That's the rule. If it hits the glass before, that's a goaltend. So Phil Jackson had a legitimate beat. That was very close, though. Goaltending is one of the tougher calls for a referee, especially on that, seeing if it hits the glass first.
That was Chris Webber sending one back.
You know, Mike, he just got a new prescription for his glasses, and he still hasn't adjusted.
I just go by the rules.
It was crystal clear. Some people have 2 eyes and still can't see.
Stojakovic.
Bad pass, Webber.
Yep.
Good idea, though. That's the kind of play that they need. Instead of this dribble, 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 shoot yourself, run some combination plays, set screens away from the ball, and get moving.
Well, to get Stojakovic going, he's got 7 points.
Well, let's think about this. Now, it's a 2-point lead for the Kings, but this is a team that played against Phoenix, and their coach has been telling them, you know, in order for us to win at the Staples Center, we're going to have to play at a higher level. So far through the first 21 minutes, they're there.
Shaq's passing the ball superbly this afternoon.
Stojakovic, hop step, nice move inside. Oh, pretty move from Peja Stojakovic, and he's got 9 points.
I never understood how you were able to take your 1.5 steps, then come to a stop, and then change direction and take your step again.
New school, old school, Bill.
Well,
somebody from the new school, Kobe Bryant, knocks down the jumper. That's just his 3rd field goal. He's 3 for 10, but it ties the game.
Coming back to Stojakovic in an isolation.
but he's dropping his lead foot back behind the play and giving Fox a chance to play defense.
Pollard, oh, great move from Pollard on the offensive rebound. Pollard has 10 rebounds in 7 minutes of play.
And 6 points to boot. So Pollard doing his job being the cleanup man and, really clearing the glass for the Kings.
Right. Frisky blocked the shot.
Most importantly for Pollard, he's got just 2 fouls. Oh, careless ball handling, Jason Williams.
Got a bad pass from Derek Fisher. Williams going to try and save it and does. That's Fisher's first turnover. Remember, he didn't have a single turnover in 114 minutes in the series against Portland.
They got a mismatch, but they throw it away.
Fisher, and he's fouled. Goes down hard. That's going to be Weber's 3rd personal foul as Fisher will shoot 2.
Sacramento has played so well. And then to just give it away like that. Jason Williams getting too involved with the show. Now Chris Webber. Big deal if a guy makes a basket. That's just one play. Fouls are so incredibly valuable when you're playing against Los Angeles.
You see that all the time, Bill. All the time, guys, especially this late in the first half.
This is one of the real tough issues that I've had. Why does Derek Fisher wear his headband over his ears?
We'll have to ask him.
I did.
And he said?
That it feels more comfortable. So it feels more comfortable. It doesn't push his ears out.
Why do you have issue with it and he doesn't?
Why are we talking about this?
I watch all these games and it's just something that keeps me awake at night.
Sacramento leading by 1. Webber now on the bench with the 3 fouls. Turkoglu has been effective in the early going. Shaw defends him beautifully. And Turkoglu still knocks it down. He's 4 for 5 from the field.
Well, no defense for a guy that's got the torch in his hands, and Turkoglu's confident. You know, again, going back to his last game against the Lakers of the season, he feels that he can do the same thing. Turnover. Can Christie get it?
Bryant, a foul. Loose ball foul on Kobe Bryant. That's his second.
One of the keys that Phil Jackson talked about was controlling the Sacramento bench. They have not done that. Turkoglu is playing extremely well. Scott Pollard has made a major contribution. Now Doug Christie does a fine job of getting right in front of Kobe Bryant and picking up the foul. You beat Kobe Bryant to a loose ball from 50 feet away. You've got athleticism.
Well, Kobe should have not, thrown his body into him. He can't afford to waste fouls either. Bryant coming hard the other way.
That's a tough shot.
Williams with a bit of a shove, and Bryant will shoot 2. Meanwhile, down the other end, Shaquille O'Neal with his 4th block here in the first half.
When you drive at the big guy, a great shot blocker like Shaquille, you've got to think pass, penetrate, and dish. Can't float to a weak side, left-handed little dream shot.
Look at the difference in the free throw shooting. Lakers have done a much better job staying away from the fouls as Bryant gets the first. And of course, coming up next, the nightcap of our NBA playoff tripleheader. 2 terrific young stars, Allen Iverson and Vince Carter. The Toronto Raptors knocking out the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Philly having a tough time, but advancing in 4 games against Indiana. That should be a good matchup tonight at the First Union Center.
You know, we've had the same teams in the playoffs for several years now, and I'm just waiting for Bill to say, well, who are these guys? And what do we know about Philadelphia and these other teams?
We know that Philadelphia is very good and that Lenny Wilkins can really coach.
And Turkoglu can really play. The rookie from Turkey now with 10 points in 10 minutes. And the Kings up by 1. Final minute of what has been a hard-fought first half.
He-Do is lighting them up today.
They call him Brother He-Do. O'Neal. Pollard did the wise thing that time and just backed away instead of picking up the foul, what you were talking about.
19 in the game for Shaq, 9 here in the second quarter.
Plus the 7 rebounds and the 4 block shots.
Involves Shaq and pick and roll.
Shaw with the steal.
What are they thinking? That Brian Shaw can't play defense? That Rick Fox and Robert Horry and Horace Grant, Kobe Bryant don't have quick hands? Protect that ball.
Fisher. 3-pointer will go out of bounds.
Crowd ready to explode here at Staples on that.
And Rick Adelman will try to get his team to take the final shot.
Now, Turkoglu has been a guy that's been attacking off the dribble and making a lot of things happen, showing he can go either way.
But he wrong-footed Shaq, and that's why Shaq couldn't get in the air. Shaq was waiting for him to take that extra step and jump off his right foot. Turkoglu teasing the big man.
7 on the shot clock.
Shot clock actually turned off. Williams forces it up. That's it. And Bryant heaves it down. And that will end the first half. A good one here in game 1. As 2 teams that have been developing a nice little rivalry. Certainly from last season in the first round, where Sacramento extended the Lakers to the full 5 games. This one, of course, best of 7. And a 1-point lead for the Kings at halftime. Coming up after these messages, Ahmad, PJ Carlissimo, and Kevin Johnson standing by in New York with net 0 at the half. Kings by 1. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
I mean, no junk, no garbage, just nothing but deliverance on and off the court.
Actually, he got into some junk in that series, especially with Glenn Robinson, as the clock didn't start when they brought the ball up the floor.
Well, McGrady still got some growth to do in terms of maturity and how to handle difficult situations, but he showed that he was right. If I leave Toronto, I'll show you just how good a player I can be, and that is a very interesting situation now for Orlando.
As we start the third quarter once again, let's hear from Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Mike. Spoke to Kobe Bryant, 3 for 11 in the first half. He said his ribs are a little bit sore. He said Doug Christie is doing a good job on me, and a lot of it I'm just plain missing. It's a lack of practice. I believe my shots will fall here in the second half. Mike?
Thank you, Jim. Christie right on Bryant again. First shot of the second half, and it drops.
Well, Sacramento achieved a lot of goals in the first half, but they cannot be happy, satisfied, complacent whatsoever. This is only about the win at the end if you're the Kings.
Well, let's see if the Kings do a better job of finding people going in the direction of the bucket, or if they have to continue to go one-on-one. Shaq slaps that one back.
Vlade had only 2 points. And that's not the kind of play you're going to be successful in attacking Shaq.
Devon's just 1 of 6 from the field. Bryant 2 for 2 to start the third. And the Lakers up by 7. We had a first half with 11 ties and 9 lead changes. Largest lead by either team was 5. It's been close throughout.
The rhythm and bounce is back to Kobe's game.
Kobe's a guy that's got supreme confidence in himself, and you know, he'll shoot himself out of a bad half. So he's looking to be aggressive offensively, and let's see if that takes Shaq out of the ball game.
He's had a few of those where he's had very cool first halves and then has been unstoppable, although he comes up short there.
Throughout the game, though, Sacramento is allowing the Lakers to flash from the weak side of the post. Rejected once again. Vlade, 2 futile efforts to open the second.
Bryant running the floor. Christie, good deflection. That's O'Neal's 5th block shot of the game.
But why would you shoot this? Why don't you drive in and then pass it to somebody else? You've got at least 2 Lakers there guarding you. You're already on the way down.
Did you see any Kings in that picture?
How about movement with the ball away from it?
Christie with a steal. Terrific defensive play from Doug Christie. Jason Williams draws the foul on Fisher on a pass. That'll be the 2nd foul on Fisher. And the Kings will inbound. Williams in the first half had 10 points.
You know, Jason Williams may be the 2nd fastest guy off the dribble, but you watch Bryant work inside and have this one tipped away, which starts a break, and that is why Doug Christie is 2nd team all defense.
Who's the fastest?
Allen Iverson.
3-point Laker lead. We've played nearly 2 minutes here in the third. O'Neal inside. Grant has it knocked away. Christie again with the deflection. Devon's really hurt on the play. Looked like he got poked in the eye. Stojakovic, Jason Williams hooks in the 3.
Penetration and dish.
Williams now 3 for 3 from downtown. And Devon's shaken up.
Well, when Jason Williams catches the ball and his feet are squared up, he's a pretty good shooter. It's when he comes down real quick. Look at Doug Christie. You know, he's must be out in that beach volleyball you're always talking about, because he has been on a pogo today.
So the goaltend for Christie. Shaquille O'Neal now with 21 points, but he also has 3 assists. He's got the 5 blocks. A little bit of everything from O'Neal.
The volleyball world stunned as UCLA went down to defeat in the championship game last night.
Here we go. Well, at least you waited to the 3rd quarter. For that, you deserve much credit. By the way, that Jason Williams last bucket was a 2-pointer. Grant gets inside, blocked from behind by Stojakovic. Williams, a long 3.
Wait a second. That's the kind of thing that Rick Adelman will pull his hair out over. He just staring at Jason Williams, shaking his head, saying, "What are you thinking?"
I'd be like Jason. I'd be acting like I'm playing defense. I don't even see the coach.
Yeah, Williams did a good thing. Never even thought about looking over. Ball deflected.
3-on-1.
Bryant wanted a kick ball. Williams, nice feed to Christie. And Christie out of foul. Derek Fisher picks up his 3rd. And Doug Christie with a chance for a 3-point play.
Big guys not running the floor in this game. The pace that Phil Jackson talked about early. Turning the thermostat down right now. It's scorching here for Sacramento as Jason Williams done a fine job.
You know, we're talking about various defensive players like Doug Christie. How about Rick Fox? He's done a very strong job on Stojakovic, who's only 3 of 9 from the field.
Stojakovic is like Kobe Bryant, though. He can shoot himself out of one of those 33% shooting halves, and he's got to be more aggressive in looking to get opportunities here in the 2nd half of play. They need a big 2nd half from him in order to win game 1 here at Staples. 9 on the clock for Shaq.
O'Neal, double team. Spins inside. Grant mistimed his jump, and here comes Stojakovic. Fox keeps him in front. Good defense from Fox with a block shot. And the ball goes out of bounds. Still Kings ball. You can't defend much better than that.
Well, no, Fox said, I know that he doesn't like to go to his left, and when he does, he's going to step back. And he stepped back. Fox came up, met him right at the top.
Rick Fox, such an intelligent player, so representative of the entire North Carolina program.
Last touch by Grant.
Now that shot is what Weber took a lot of in the Phoenix series, and he hasn't taken a lot of this afternoon. Shaq was on him. He should have looked to try to make some sort of quick move, maybe get another foul. They turn it over.
Fox with the steal on a bad pass. Christie trailing. Bryant the trailer. And the Lakers back up by 2. 12 turnovers for Sacramento. Jason Williams right down the other end.
Now, if you would just do that all the time, instead of the carelessness that we saw in the previous inbound pass, so just gave the Lakers momentum. Kobe Bryant posterizing the entire city of Sacramento.
Give and go, Bryant.
Big quarter here for Kobe Bryant. It's 8 1/4, and he has been the offensive focus for the Lakers.
O'Neal, meanwhile, with his 4th assist.
You know, they have got him back in the game, and let's see if Sacramento gets this guy back in the game. Stojakovic drive, but bothered by Fox.
Boy, Rick Fox coming up big on the defensive end as the Lakers lead by 2. Played nearly 5 minutes here in the 3rd. Along with Steve Jones, Bill Walton, and Jim Gray. Mike Breen on hand. Horace Grant makes it a 4-point lead for LA.
Once again, the failure to prepare defensively by the Kings post players who were just allowing guys like Horace Grant, Kobe Bryant, Rick Fox to receive wherever they want.
Divac didn't expect the pass and just flips it up.
Divac is mentally out of whack now because he didn't get the calls. He's looking in the direction of the officials. He's got to do a better job of finishing opportunities like that. That was a makeable shot for him.
But the writer's strike has been settled, and Vlade can play.
Shaquille O'Neal showing the soft touch. Rick Adelman wants a timeout. Lakers with their largest lead of the game. Jason Williams with 14 points. But the Lakers now with a 6-point advantage.
And all the good things that Sacramento did in the first half have now just disappeared. And while they forced the Lakers early on to play a stand-around game watching Shaq, now Shaq is still delivering, and Kobe's got it going. Rick Fox, it's an endless list of Lakers.
Lakers 7 of 11 from the field here in this 3rd quarter. LA Lakers winners of 11 in a row. Last 8 in the regular season, first 3 of the playoffs. Now a 6-point lead with 6.5 to go at the Staples Center. As is the norm, they're on hand. Steven Spielberg, Lucy Liu, Jack Nicholson, all enjoying the action. That's not aware of where the camera is. And that's Heath Ledger and Heather Graham, stars of the upcoming Sony Pictures movie A Knight's Tale, opening Friday. And then Sean Hayes, the Emmy Award winner from NBC's Will and Grace, with an all-new episode coming up this Thursday.
Well, let's see out of the timeout whether they get better ball movement and they come out attacking to try to keep the game close. Weber knocks down.
Finally, Vlade gets off the dime here.
Just his 2nd field goal. He's now 2 for 9.
You know, Weber in knocking down Horace Grant gave Vlade that chance because Shaq had to come to it.
Shaq. Single coverage right now. Ball knocked away. Divac with the good hands, and here comes Jason Williams.
Again, Weber and Vlade not running. You've got to capitalize.
Coming down the lane, Vlade.
Divac foul and 1. Derek Fisher reaching in, and Vlade Divac suddenly awakens here in the 3rd.
Movement without the ball. A novel concept. Chris Weber trying to get it done individually out of the timeout.
Now that's what allows Vlade to get this rebound and put it back in, because Grant was trying to draw the foul, and then a good pass and a finish and a chance for a 3-point play to bring it back to 1.
Fisher, meanwhile, with his 4th personal foul.
Why are they so insistent on playing one-on-one basketball? The Lakers are too good defensively. Well, they've got Shaq, they've got Kobe.
They get caught up in the moment, and sometimes you get that feeling of wanting to take over the game.
Transition.
Divac running the floor as it knocked out of bounds, and it's still Kings ball. And they'll inbound on their baseline with 19 on the shot clock. Divac's happy, or not happy, a call wasn't made.
I'm not
hard to imagine that's not a foul.
Wait, I'm not sure that you're moving in the direction of the Kings here. Vlade makes this hoop. It might change your mind about how they're playing. I mean, it is a 1-point game.
But the style right now clearly favors Los Angeles.
Weber deflects it, but Fox comes up with it. Good hands from Stojakovic, but right to Grant.
Where are the guards for Sacramento on the long rebounds at the foul line?
O'Neal wants the ball. powers in and gets the roll.
Shaq likes to lead with that elbow, much like Karl Malone. Create some contact, hope he draws the foul. Got that around Vlade Divac to get his 6th point of the quarter.
But while Vlade, excuse me.
Weber knocks it down. By the way, Kobe Bryant holding his mouth apparently got hit.
But while Vlade was sitting there after getting scored upon by Shaq, that's going to happen. Instead of standing there and arguing, he should be pounding up and down that court and taking advantage in transition where he can be effective and be a contributor.
Bryant, well short. There's another long rebound. O'Neal gets this one. Fisher just slipped right out of his hands. Kobe Bryant, as you mentioned, took a shot in the mouth. Watch Doug Christie with him.
Oh, that is a poor shot, but that's just in the action of movement, and it was it was really accidental. That's why a great shot.
That's why you don't play defense with your face. From someone who's broken their nose 13 times and had their teeth knocked out 10, I've learned from experience. I'm a slow learner, I admit.
13.
Yeah, it was probably about the 12th time you got it, huh?
No,
turnover.
It was the 13th.
Bryant, pretty move from Kobe Bryant, who has 10 of his 18 there in the 3rd. And the Lakers back up by 3.
Well, we got to give Kevin Johnson a little props and a little love because he said Kobe is not going to be silent the rest of the half, and he has really come out with the offensive energy and the attacking mode. Stojakovic.
Long three-pointer for Stojakovic, who is just 3 of 11 from the field before that shot. And again, the game is tied. That's his 2nd 3. He's got 12 for the game.
You're going to have to win this game. I mean, as many mistakes as both teams have made, they're still good enough offensively to where you're going to have to continue to make shots and good decisions. Vlade, good rebound.
And a quick outlet to Williams. Weber running the floor. Stojakovic setting a screen.
Now that's the type of pounding you need from the big man, forcing Phil Jackson to take a much-needed timeout.
After a strong series against Phoenix, Jason Williams having a solid game 1 despite the 5 turnovers with 14 points and 3 assists, wearing that new style sneaker that Terrell Brandon actually wore a pair of those in the Minnesota series. I'm waiting for him to click his heels and say there's no place like home.
I have not seen shoes like that since the days of Jimmy Purple Haze Hendricks.
Purple Haze had a pair of those?
Oh, they were dynamite, Steve.
Or was that imaginary purple?
No.
Very nice. Just over 2.5 to go here in the 3rd. Lou comes up short.
What a rebound, Bryant.
Oh, and he puts it in on a foul. Kobe Bryant extending himself, is snatching that rebound.
So let's see, Sacramento's trying to win this game. They got a 2-point lead. They come out of a timeout, and they force Tyrone Lue, of all people, to take a shot. They got Shaq out of the free throw line, and then they just give up an offensive rebound and a foul. Vlade picking up his 3rd foul.
Wait a minute. Now give the guy that got the rebound some credit. This is a very aggressive and energized Kobe Bryant here in the quarter. That is 13 points here in the quarter. He's chasing everything down, and the guy that was boxing him out is the guy with the Purple Haze shoes on. He's not going to be able to keep him out of the lane.
Where's Chris Webber to dominate on that rebound?
Stojakovic, and a whistle, offensive foul call. Divac picks up his 4th, and he's going to have to sit down as Scott Pollard will come in.
And Vlade, on this screen looks into what? There's no question that he fouled and the little head block, and he looks in the direction of Phil Jackson and claps and applauds, and Pollard comes in the game. 1-point game, Lakers.
O'Neal calling for it down low, rushed a shot, but not a problem on the 2nd one. So quick, Shaquille O'Neal in the lead, back up to 3.
The need for quick feet and that quicker mind. The Sacramento Kings standing and watching when Shaq is shooting.
Weber, nice feet inside, and Pollard able to finish, and the foul. Chris Webber with a pretty pass.
When you've been bludgeoned to death, when you've been bludgeoned to death enough, you don't get a good mind. And, these guys are numb from the elbow and everything else. Shaq beats them back to the ball.
They're standing there thinking that the only thing they have to do is just put their arms up in the air and their job is over. Their job is over when their team gets the ball back.
What's the score?
It's tied.
Pollard, meanwhile, now with 7 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. Just over a minute and a half left in the third.
So as bad as they are, they're in the game.
O'Neal powering in.
Now that's what they didn't want to see happen. Get that ball, get him energized, and now he's playing over the top of the bucket. 10 1/4 for him.
He's got 29 for the game.
When you see a defender planted with his feet on the ground and his arms straight up in the air, he's already given up.
Christie, nice spin move. Ori deflects it out of bounds. Good help defense from Ori. And it's still Sacramento ball.
Shaq in the low post. You see Pollard, he puts his arms up before Shaq even makes a move. Capitulation in the face of adversity. Where's the response?
Do they use that word in the gym? Capitulation.
You were complaining about big words earlier.
Along with apparatus and adjudication.
There you go. 2-point Laker lead coming up on a minute remaining. O'Neal draws the foul. Pollard and Christie in the vicinity.
Christie puts his hand up, but Pollard is thinking this call is going to go against him.
That's his third. Pollard's. Christie tried to help out. Christie has not committed a foul.
Well,
O'Neal will shoot 2.
Shaq is lathered up, but he let Kobe get going, and now he's taken over to finish this quarter off for the Lakers. And a big quarter for him as well. 10 points and a chance to get to 12.
O'Neal also with 6 blocked shots in the game besides those 4 assists. It's the first. Of course, yesterday a bit of a surprise at Churchill Downs. Monarchos forever earning himself a place in sports history, winning the Kentucky Derby in the second fastest time in Derby history. Now Monarchos setting his sights on the Preakness as the Visa Triple Crown continues. The Preakness Stakes coming to NBC in 2 weeks on Saturday, May 19th.
So fast, under 2 minutes, reminded me of the blur that was Steve Jones. Streaking to the offensive end.
Jack is going to get another free throw.
Lane violation. Now, did he ever streak to the defensive end? That's what I want to know.
It was clearly an uphill, downhill situation.
Now, there, the replay, the reason the violation is Doug Christie can't cross the foul line until the ball hits the rim. The other players along the lane can release on the release of the free throw, but anyone off the blocks can't come in until after it hits the rim. Good pickup by the official.
The Lakers have scored 27 points, and the 2 stars have 13 and 20 and 12 here in the quarter of those 27.
Play for two for 1 time here if you're Sacramento.
Dangerous pass deflected out of bounds by Lou. Still Sacramento ball, 7 on the shot clock, 49 seconds left in the quarter.
Tyrone Lue has done a good job here. You play this now as Sacramento.
They're going to get Shaq out of the
2
ball
for
game
1
for the final minute.
Madsen, the rookie, will come in, and O'Neal will sit down. 31 points, 4 assists, 12 rebounds, 6 block shots. Shaquille O'Neal has done it all, and there's still a quarter to play.
Well, you got to look at Weber right now and try to get something inside.
Weber doesn't realize the shot clock expiring. Now puts it up on a foul call with 2 remaining on the 24. And for the Lakers, they're in the penalty. Kobe Bryant picks up his 3rd.
Can I hear that saying, don't mistake
activity for achievement?
So what do you tell Kobe? You know, you got 3 seconds left in the quarter. Are you playing with your head?
Kobe's doing just fine.
Oh, I see. He's got a Lakers uniform.
He had a sluggish start. A week of no practice because of injuries. But now he's found his game. 48 minutes, best out of 7.
Stojakovic will return for Sacramento. Pollard will sit down.
Remember yesterday, Adelman told us, you know, we want to keep pressure on the Lakers, and pressure on the Lakers means staying in the ball game. It doesn't necessarily always be ahead, but don't be down big. And they're down 3. Weber with the chance to make it a 2-point game.
And he does. Weber now has taken 11 free throws in the game, 7 of 11 from the line.
And it was the tenacity that the Sacramento Kings showed against the Phoenix Suns that so amazed Rick Adelman as he continued to urge them to apply that pressure.
Christie trying to stay with Bryant, and he puts it in. Kobe Bryant knocks down another. He's got 15 points here in the 3rd, 23 for the game.
Now, the only way you're going to answer that is to start throwing some darts back at him. You cannot let Kobe Bryant get hot and then not have somebody offensively attacking him.
Brian Shaw, terrific defensive stand against Stojakovic. Phil Jackson always changing the defense against Stojakovic. The crowd rising to their feet.
Bryant against Christie, trying to draw the foul, and he does. Christie went for the fake. And Kobe Bryant putting on a show here in the third quarter. Bryant and O'Neal have 27 of the 29 Laker third quarter points.
So, you were right, Mike. It was early here in Los Angeles, and Bryant did not get his wake-up call until about 1:30. And now he is on a roll. Big quarter for him. 16, a chance to get to 17. Which would be...
Who's playing well for Sacramento? And who can you look to and say, okay, now this guy is going to get us right there?
They were down 6 before they got right back in the game, and now you're kissing them off.
But Vlade's already lost his mind with the 2 free throws, with the 2 fouls that he just foolishly gave away.
Final shot here, third quarter. Stojakovic will count if it goes. And he comes up short, ending the third quarter, which was dominated by Kobe Bryant. And you see 3 quarters complete. The two have combined for 56 points for the Lakers. 83-79. Lakers leading. We'll be right back after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. Everyone makes mistakes once in a while, even the clock operator here at the Staples Center. Watch, Bryant puts it in. The clock runs. 0.5 of a second go off, which should not have. Stojakovic then rushes. Now he missed by a good margin anyway, but that 0.5 of a second, he could have taken another couple of dribbles. The Kings protested afterward as they saw what happened.
The home court advantage. You never know how many people you're going to have to beat when you walk into these games.
You know, you are saying some strange things today.
Today? Why qualify today?
Well, you know, some days are funnier than others. Turkoglu
draws the foul. Turkoglu had a big impact in the first half. And a rookie from Turkey will shoot 2 free throws as Fox picks up his second.
The separation in this game is field goals made. As we come into the fourth quarter of play, the Lakers have made 4 more field goals than the Sacramento Kings. Everything else is basically even.
Turkoglu with the free throws. It's the first. Of course, we've got game 3 of our triple-header coming up from Philadelphia. 76ers hosting the Raptors in game 1. That best of 7. Turkoglu, meanwhile, with 11 points. For Turkey, he missed home so much he used to call daily. A couple of times a lot early in the season, but since he was living in a hotel, he always called from the hotel phone. He was spending thousands of dollars. They finally got him a cell phone to save him some money. But he is starting to get accustomed to life in America and having a very good season as O'Neal puts it in.
You don't call home every day?
I do, but not on the hotel. It's extra expensive, you know. Turnover.
That 75 cents turns into thousands of dollars? I mean, your cell phones don't cost every minute? Shaq with a great move inside, and he got the bump, got no call, but he continues on his roll. 33 points for O'Neal.
6-point lead. That's been the largest by either team as we're in the opening minute of the fourth.
Lakers are moving. Lakers are passing, getting to the offensive glass. Kings are forced to play a one-on-one stand-around game.
Horry gets the bounce. Robert Horry off the bench now. 3 for 3 from the field. Check that, 4 for 4.
What a luxury to have Robert Horry and Horace Grant on your team.
Well, now let's see how the Kings respond right here. This is the biggest lead of the game for the Lakers. Do they start moving the ball, moving themselves, getting better percentage shots?
Look at Horry. He's saying, don't bring that jump hook this way.
O'Neal gets it deep again. Shaquille O'Neal with the soft touch. And the first double-digit lead of the game. Lakers by 10. Timeout, Sacramento. About 90 seconds gone by. Fourth quarter in L.A. Shaquille O'Neal dominant once again as the Lakers lead by 10.
It's all happening, and the love fest that has become Los Angeles Laker basketball on full display this afternoon. Shaq, the most difficult shot of all is to execute the shot you just faked, and he is making all of those shots look so very, very simple.
Well, let's see if the Sacramento Kings, who have shown that they can play from the rear, start coming back. Weber with a jump hook, that same one that you said, get out of here with.
And a little pump with the fist on his way up. Weber being taunted in the crowd by a Laker fan and staring up at him. He's got 25 now, Weber. O'Neal. Oh, what a soft touch.
Well, Sacramento's doing everything right. They're making Shaq make shots. Unfortunately, Sacramento is not sharp enough on the offensive end. Come right back and answer.
What they got to do is put more pressure on the passer, so Shaq has to come further out to enter that to get that ball. Weber.
The head fake from Weber. Misfires, and O'Neal rips in his 13th rebound.
If you're the Lakers, come right back to Shaq now. He's rolling. The jumper is going.
Still very early in the fourth, but the Lakers starting to flex their muscles.
Beautiful ball movement.
5 on the clock, and Turkoglu thought he got the ball, and they say, no, you got Shaq's arm, so they'll get 14.
But Sacramento is doing the right thing by forcing Shaq to be a skilled player instead of just a power dunker. And Shaq has responded here, but that's your only chance.
First team foul against Sacramento.
Well, Sacramento's very explosive. What they've got to do is make the shots come from someplace other than Shaq. 6 on the clock. Horry.
Robert Horry. Pollard with his 11th rebound. Shaw's done a good job defensively in spot duty.
All the role players for Phil Jackson. Tyrone Lue, Horry, Shaw. He hadn't even had to call on Ron Harper. Ron Harper available for duty now.
What has Tyrone Lue done today? You keep calling his name out. He hasn't scored a point.
The guy's played well.
There's Harper. Of course, had the knee surgery. Hasn't played since mid-February, but available if needed.
Next thing you know, Harper will have played well, too.
When you play the team game, statistics means nothing.
Oh, Weber comes right back. And Chris Weber with 27 points. Kings down by 8. Still plenty of time here in the fourth.
And isn't that what Rick Fox was talking about yesterday? How the statistics are becoming meaningless for this Laker team.
Fox has done such a good job on Stojakovic.
He said that in relationship to the Stars.
Ball knocked away.
He did not say that.
Turkoglu blocked by Fox, but Stojakovic right there for the putback. And the lead cut to 6.
But, you know, and Phil Jackson knows that this team cannot get careless because Sacramento is very explosive. They show that they can come back, they can score a lot of points, coming back to Shaq.
O'Neal inside, Shaquille O'Neal. 39 points to the Lakers, back up by 8.
They got to get after the passer. They're not able to hold Shaq from getting that deep position now as the game wears on. He's wearing the center down. Jackson.
Bobby Jackson with a floater. Remember, Sacramento this year, they came down back from a 28-point deficit and a 24-point deficit to win this season. And also, in the Phoenix series, they were down 19 and 17 in the 2 road games and won both. Backdoor to Fox. O'Neal dominating. And he draws the foul, just can't finish.
Shaq rolling. The ball in his hands early in the shot clock. The footwork, the step through, bodies flying out of the way. Vlade Divac. Display of disgust, of angst.
Weber, meanwhile, with his 4th foul. O'Neal to the line. There you see his numbers from the free throw line.
But Weber in that situation, too slow to react to that ball. I mean, it was in play on the strong side. And Chris Weber standing on the weak side saying, well, I'll wait for it to come my way. Meanwhile, Shaq, who's done everything today, just burst an explosion to that ball. Ends up at the free throw line.
And hitting his free throws. He'll never be an 80% free throw shooter, but he's really gotten over the hump, you can tell, with his latest form in the arc.
9 1/4 for Shaq. 40 points on the afternoon. 7-point lead, and Sacramento has got to get this guy going. Stojakovic has got to find a way to start throwing some darts at Fox and the Lakers. Kobe Bryant back out on the floor. 8 on the clock.
But they've kept Stojakovic from playing on the move today.
Weber, 3 on the shot clock, has to fire away, and Pollard hauls down the rebound. Stojakovic, Fox not giving him many open looks, and he steals it. Rick Fox with his defensive effort continuing here in the 4th, and then throws it away.
Rick Fox's closeout defense has been exemplary this afternoon. The footwork, the preparation that he's used, the consistent harassment, where he's just always jamming, always frustrating, and taking Stojakovic out of his movement game.
That's his third steal of the game. He had 10 in the 4 games against Phoenix. Weber with a perfect behind-the-back pass.
I guess we won't see Shaq coming over and double teaming anymore on that play.
That was Wilt Chamberlain. That was Wilt with the stand there. Gail Goodrich, Jerry West flashed into the hoop and the behind-the-back wraparound.
O'Neal. Ball knocked loose, picked up by Fisher.
Guards standing and watching rather than moving.
In and out, Fisher, the offensive rebound, and he banks on the follow. Derek Fisher in the land of the Giants puts the Lakers up by 7. Smallest player on the court. Weber, hard drive, and a foul. Chris Weber answering every run by the Lakers. Marv, thank you. That should be a good one. Again, Sixers didn't have an easy time in disposing of Indiana in 4.
I'm looking to see what kind of defense Alvin Williams can play on Iverson.
Boy, Alvin Williams had a great series against the Knicks. Guy they almost traded. Actually, they did trade him, and it was rescinded. And now having a coming-out party in the postseason.
But one of the trademarks of Lenny Wilkins' career, the Hall of Famer that he is, 2 times over, his ability to identify great young point guard talent.
4-point ball game, Weber with 7, keeping them close, and now what they've got to do is get some pressure on the ball. Look how far Weber is off of Horace Grant, and you can't let that entry pass come into Shaq that way. 8 on the clock.
O'Neal flips it up hard off the glass, gets his own rebound.
Standing and watching Scott Pollard.
And he's fouled as he just powers in.
How about the footwork of practicing defense and then when your man shoots, boxing out?
If you never had footwork, you can practice all day and you're not going to get it.
This guy went to Torrey Pines High School, had a fine program there. Then he goes on to Kansas, where he's an outstanding player under Roy Williams, one of the greatest teachers this game has.
Bill, he wasn't listening.
Oh, yes, he was.
Because you've been saying it all day. How about the footwork? He wasn't listening.
He just picked up his 4th foul. O'Neal misses another free throw. 40 points, 15 rebounds for Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, then how about face guarding? How about just staying right there?
Give him something he can do. 2 misses, and Pollard comes up with another rebound.
He boxed out rather nicely there.
Well, that's a free throw. You can't get a defensive rebound on a free throw.
Let's see if they stay with Weber here. In a 4-point ball game, Weber got it going. He's got 7 1/4.
Turkoglu. Bobby Jackson. 3-pointer won't go. Weber the rebound.
Terrific closeout defensively by Fisher. A lot of pump faking.
Bryant all over Turkoglu.
Turkoglu wants this one. He's not giving it up. He wanted that one.
Still Sacramento ball, 10 on the shot clock.
He said, you know, Kobe Bryant, I got some stuff for you, but he got himself in a bad position.
This underrated Laker defense coming to the fore.
Stojakovic wanting to shoot, tough shot, won't go. O'Neal with his 16th rebound.
Well, Rick Fox has completely taken Stojakovic out of this game.
Well,
he's 5 of 16 from the field.
Stojakovic has got to think about getting to the rim now because Fox has got his number on when he's stepping back to shoot that jumper.
But that was the same story in Game 1 against Phoenix when Sean Marion busted Stojakovic.
Kobe Bryant in and out. O'Neal fouled on the follow. Shaquille O'Neal will go back to the free throw line.
But this is really tough. If you're standing there, you have position, and you just allow the guy to come over the top and just snatch the rebound out of your hand.
Stojakovic's 2nd foul.
You have been pounding Scott Pollard about position.
Just been reporting the facts.
And, you know, you're playing against one of the most dominant guys in the league. He can overpower you, and you just keep coming back with it. Look at this guy. He is worn down. He looks like a guy that's taken about 15 rounds of body blows.
Pollard tugging around Garrettson trying to get some help. O'Neal suddenly struggling from the line here in the fourth quarter. The lead remains 4.
You're acting as if this is the first guy that's ever been really good, that's ever scored 40 points or 35 points, whatever it is.
You know, when you had those 300-pounders laying all over you, you know what you call for? Luke! How about Luke? Give me some help!
Where is Maurice Lucas when you need him?
The free throw shooting for O'Neal, just 1 of 6 here in the fourth quarter.
4-point game. Sacramento still there. Weber, bad shot.
A terrible shot from Weber. He's looking for a foul call, but
the last 2 shots, Stojakovic and Weber, have just been ill-conceived heaves.
Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Bryant. Christie does a good job. Grant wide open. Horace Grant, who's made a career out of hitting that 15-footer, knocks it down for a 6-point Laker lead.
Now, that was a big pressure reliever because the Lakers had stalled and Shaq wasn't scoring.
Look at the Laker defense. They're double teaming all the right guys.
Pollard standing still. I don't know if that's the shot Rick Allen wants at this point.
Well, what else does he have? He's got Vlade sitting on the bench. Vlade basically threw in the towel when he picked up those 2 silly fouls.
Jason Williams passed up 2 opportunities, one for a 3 and one for a 15-footer. They don't go after the rebound.
Fox tries it again. O'Neal once again. Shaquille O'Neal with 42 points, and the Lakers back up by 8.
They've made him move, and Shaq has responded.
A dominating performance from Shaquille O'Neal with 3:06 remaining in game 1.
To win big games, more importantly on the road, you've got to be able to dominate your defensive backboard. You cannot ask for a better rebound than that. You're standing on the weak side, you got your man defended, the jumper is taken, it comes beautifully off the rim right to you, and you still get out quick to the ball. Ouch.
Sacramento wanted a loose ball foul on O'Neal on that, but no way. Weber against Grant.
All the Kings have to do is come back, move the ball, move themselves, they'll get a better shot. Stojakovic inside.
And draws the foul. O'Neal was in the area. Let's see what they call it against. So that's 3 on Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal last year in game 1 of the first round against Sacramento had 46 points. That tied his playoff career high. And here in game 1 this season against Sacramento, he's very close.
Yeah, he has been overpowering here in the second half.
But as much as Shaq has done today, Sacramento is relatively close without having played very well. Shaq last year, 46-17, 21 for 33.
But that game last year, in fact, all the games here in LA in that series weren't close. The Kings weren't competitive. They're a much better road team as they've proven here today.
But if Vlade and Scott Pollard could contribute something, maybe some offensive rebounds.
Pollard has 14 rebounds.
Maybe some give and goes.
Bryant off the chest of Grant.
And if Stojakovic could get going, how about some screens? Vlade called for his 5th foul now.
Divac with 5 personals, and O'Neal will go back to the line where he's just 1 of 6 here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Vlade thought he got a block on that one. Shaq made a great spin. Vlade was right there.
All ball, he's saying.
Watch the spin. He's in position.
If you're going to argue this is all ball, I mean, why do they even have a rule book?
What? You didn't agree that was all ball? His hand was all on top of it?
Vlade was virtually inside Shaq's jersey at that point.
O'Neal knocks that one. Boy, Steve, it pains me to say this, but I agree with Bill on that one. 43 now in the game.
It pains you?
Yes. You have no idea of my pain.
What touch. What form.
13 in the quarter.
44 for the game, along with 19 boards. 2.5 to play. 8-point Laker lead.
Well, Weber had it going, and since he got his 7th point and the foul, he has been shut down. He gets a foul here. Bryant puts his hand up.
Isn't
that the story of Horace Grant and Robert Horry? These guys between them already have 6 championship rings. And even though they don't have the statistical numbers, even though they don't have the offensive games, invariably they outplay their opponent.
Weber to the line. Weber has come up strong with 7 of his 30 here in the fourth.
You're saying that duel has outplayed Chris Weber.
They're ahead.
You think
They're winning.
Wonderful to see the great Jerry West here at the Staples Center. The rare appearance this season is Lakers leading by 7. The number up there, of course, so many great playoff performances from Jerry West, including a couple of 50-point outings in the 49 back in 65. Shaquille O'Neal, a little shy of that, although not that bad. O'Neal with 44 points. Kobe Bryant with 25. But they've also had some help in other areas. The role players have done it in many cases for the Lakers. Rick Fox's defense, Peja Stojakovic, is a huge key to this game, Bill.
No capitulation whatsoever from Jerry West.
That's 3 capitulation
guys would come out here and put up big games when Wilt was playing for Philadelphia and San Francisco, and the Celtics would come in. Jerry West would say, hey, you're going to play my game here. And that's what the Kings have failed to deliver.
You know what it is, Mike? You just learned that word this morning.
You have a 3 capitulation reference limit.
7 on the clock for O'Neal.
O'Neal throws it up, won't go. Another offensive rebound.
How many has he got on his own missed shots? Isn't that the first thing they teach you? Don't let your man get his own offensive rebound.
Kings need another stop. Bryant gets loose. Christie trying to stay with him. Excellent defense from Christie. And Divat's the rebound. Christie has made Bryant work for a lot of his points. 6-point game, minute and a half remaining.
Do the Kings go for 2 or 3 here? Stojakovic looking like he wants a 3.
Doesn't matter with him. He can shoot from anywhere as he's grabbed and held.
Shaq.
Lakers in the penalty, so free throws coming up.
Well, Rick Fox puts up his hand.
Fox is third now in the first round against Phoenix. Stojakovic struggled in game 1 against Sean Marion. Rick Adelman said he's come a long way, kind of figured out how to deal with Marion. Now he's struggling against Fox. We'll see how he deals with him the rest of the series. And Stojakovic's numbers, there you see in the first game, but then he just lit it up after that.
And he outplayed Sean Marion. Sean Marion was taken out of the game because Stojakovic was moving, was running and coming off screens and totally negated Sean Marion's contribution.
Well, 4-point game. This ball is going to stay in the hands of Bryant and O'Neal.
Derek Fisher, though, for 3. Christie the rebound, and the Kings still very much alive.
2-man game, Weber, Stojakovic.
Under a minute to play. That's a 3. Rush the shot. O'Neal with his 21st rebound.
Rick Fox, so quick to get back after he was caught behind the screen.
A standing ovation here at the Staples Center.
This time, Kobe Bryant looks like he's not giving this one up. 5 on the clock, and he double dribbled.
Another turnover. Bryant with 5 turnovers in the game, and a timeout called by Sacramento. Sacramento down by as many as 10 here in the fourth quarter. Now trailing by 4 with the ball. They still have a 20-second timeout. Neither team with a foul to give. Chris Weber with 32 points to lead the Sacramento Kings, who will inbound at half court with Jason Williams, Christie, Divac, Weber, and Stojakovic, who has struggled 5 of 17 from the field, but they'll still go to him in this situation.
Well, the Sacramento Kings need a quick-hitting play. They don't necessarily need the 3, but they need a score coming out of this possession. And then this is where you can come back and think about maybe fouling Shaq, who has not had a great second half in shooting free throws, but you can't take a lot of time getting the ball up. Weber
puts it in. Chris Weber makes it a 2-point game with 24.1 remaining.
You've got to foul right away if you're Sacramento.
Absolutely. Williams goes for the steal, and he fouls. So Derek Fisher, who's 1 of 2 from the line this afternoon, will go to the line and shoot 2.
They were all up celebrating, Mike, during the timeout, figuring that this thing was sealed, and Fisher, with the headband that's still bothering you, will come to the free throw line.
Fisher 81% from the line during the regular season. 23.8 remaining.
He's been known to cough up a miss in these situations.
Misses the first. The Kings again still have a 20-second timeout.
Sacramento, which has not done a good job of protecting their defensive backboard, have got to garner any errant miss here.
Fisher's second one is put in, and it's a three-point game. Shot clock turned off. Jason Williams
All the way.
goes running. O'Neal with the rejection. His 7th block of the game, and a foul called with 15.5 remaining.
Lottie fouls out of the ball game, but Williams laid that one out there, and Shaq was not going to let it go away.
Vlade's standing right in the lane. You got 1, 2, 3 Lakers that Jason Williams is going by. That's like the shot blocking drill that big guys run, where the guys just run in and throw it up, and you practice keeping it in play to start the fast break.
So Bryant with 2 big free throws here. That makes it a 4-point Laker lead.
But they take Shaq out.
Devon's meanwhile out 3 of 11 from the field, Bill.
Knowing the fact that they got to defend the 3 at this point.
Bryant misses the second. Horry tips it out. Robert Horry's come up with some big plays here today.
Well, that was the ball game right there. They had to have that move
If
ball.
you're the Lakers.
And there's a foul.
1 shot and the ball.
Yep, and away from the play foul. Turkoglu makes a mistake. So Fisher will shoot 1. This is in the last 2 minutes of the 4th quarter and overtime.
So they didn't get
decision.
the defensive rebound on the miss. Then they make another mental mistake on fouling away from the ball. A lot of lessons to be learned here for Sacramento.
Well, I mean, if you're Sacramento, you can say, hey, you know, there's room for improvement. We know what we can do better for game 2.
Bryant hits it. Now the Lakers will take it out of bounds. Again, away from the play foul in the last 2 minutes when you foul away from the ball. Of course, coming up after this one, we'll send you to Philadelphia. 76ers and the Raptors, Eastern Conference semifinal. Game 1, Marv Albert, Doug Collins waiting at the First Union Center.
Making shots and rebounding would be a good place to start.
Christie with the steal, and that makes it 106 to 103.
Now they've got to foul again.
It's not over yet.
Immediately.
They got a foul. Boy, look
Get
to
it
get
to
it
Kobe
in.
Bryant.
Nearly a steal. Ball almost kicked out of bounds, but they call the foul on Christie. And Kobe Bryant will shoot 2 with 3.2 remaining.
You can see that the Sacramento Kings, even though they have made some critical mistakes in this ball game, and had they not made them, they may have won, but they're still believing that they can win a game down here. They missed a golden opportunity today, and we'll see if they can keep O'Neal in game 2 from being overpowering, and Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is looking at getting to 29 with these 2 free throws, and between the 2, that is a huge afternoon.
That free throw pretty much seals it, makes it a 4-point game with 3.2 remaining.
Sacramento can look at this and say, look, we made so many mistakes and are still only down 5 points. We had a chance to win it. Nothing went right for them in the second half.
22nd timeout, the last one for the Kings, as the Lakers will hold on and win game 1. We'll be right back. 5-point Laker lead, 3.2 remaining. Kobe Bryant's 2 free throws moments ago sealing this one. Kings now out of timeouts. Bryant's only points in the 4th quarter came in the final minute from the free throw line. He's got 8 for the game, 29.
But he carried him in the 3rd.
Absolutely. And that big 3rd, Stojakovic will get inside. And there's the buzzer. And the Lakers hold on. They survive game 1. Here in this best-of-7 series, a dominant performance from Shaquille O'Neal. The 44 points, 21 rebounds, the 7th block, a huge one in the final seconds. And the Lakers take game 1 here in this Western Conference semifinal.
So Shaq had 44 points, 22 boards, and 7 blocks in a truly dominating performance. The Kings single-teamed O'Neal most of the game, and he made him pay. Kobe Bryant added 29 points, while Chris Webber led Sacramento with 34 and 8 rebounds. The Lakers went on to sweep the Kings on their way to their 2nd of 3 straight NBA championships. Thanks for watching here on NBA TV. I'm Mark Fine. We'll see you next time.